In the El Chapo trial, Vicente Bada, the son of El Chapo's partner, Ismael Bada, took the stand. Vicente was set to be the heir to the Sinaloa Cartel before his arrest and extradition. Bada confirmed what previous witnesses testified, including corruption.
He told the court about how Joaquin El Chapo Guzman rebuilt his empire when he escaped from prison and about his deadly feuds with rival cartels. Vicente Bada will take the stand again later on this morning. So joining us now is criminal defense lawyer and former prosecutor Vinoo to bring us up to speed. So, hey, Vinoo, the jury heard a lot of stuff. Tell us what happened yesterday. Give us a sense of what the highlights of the testimony.
Well, Vicente, the son of El Mayo, right? El Mayo said something really important, and I think this potentially is going to play to the defense strategy. He said, "My father is the head of the Sinaloa Cartel," so he provided a ton of information about El Chapo, but he confirmed that his dad is the one who ran the Sinaloa Cartel. And then when El Chapo escaped from prison, he was the one who helped rebuild, as you just mentioned, El Chapo's network, because he gave him a cut because it was too dangerous for El Chapo to be doing the work himself. I mean, the level of detail he provided was, in essence, I mean, it was staggering. The amount of corruption, $1 million a month paid to Mexican officials to help them keep the rails and everything going, and all this stuff, including $50,000 to a national security chief. And they also had on the payroll a member of former President Vicente Fox, the man who said we wouldn't effing pay for this wall,
right?
You know, to Trump. They had a member of his team on payroll as well. It's what Vicente testified to. Now, he provided some great details about El Chapo's escape, particularly that El Chapo was taken out. He confirmed that El Chapo was taken when he escaped prison the first time, that he was taken out in a laundry cart by a guard. Right.
Oh, my
Talk
gosh.
about a prison airing out its dirty laundry,
yeah.
right?
Very good.
So, you know, that's how, and he talked about how El Chapo was worried that he would get caught. But the most interesting thing is was kind of been glossed over in some of the newspapers about his testimony, what he's potentially getting in return.
Because he testified against his own father, too, in this.
Correct. I mean, his father's on the run, right? But this is very unusual. He said, obviously, all people that cooperate and flip and snitch, or whatever you want to call it, are hoping for a reduced sentence. But in his case, he said that he was also potentially promised a visa to come to the United States.
Whoa.
And that's really interesting because the Immigration and Nationality Act prevents judges or anybody from changing the rules of the game. So prosecutors have no power to compel the immigration authorities to give a visa. So the fact that he believes he's going to get a visa or potentially get a visa is really, I think, fuel, ammunition for the defense to say he's making up most of this stuff.
All right, well, so he's a new actor in this drama. So who is Vicente Bada? What kind of access did he have to information at the cartel, do you think? And really, what is he doing? How much is he putting himself at risk by testifying here?
Well, I mean, that's an interesting question. If I'm the defense attorney, and you know, I'm here talking to you, I'm not representing El Chapo, I would say that this is just all part of a game for him to have his cake and eat it too, right? He left the cartel. He's probably not safe in Mexico, right? That's why he wants to stay here in America and get a visa and hopefully get out of jail after 15 or so years. But he had access. I mean, he was involved since he was 15. He is the son of the head of the Sinaloa Cartel. So, I mean, I think that you know, he does have access to the information. Now, the question is he telling the truth on everything? And I think this is something for the defense to exploit.
But if he then testifies that it's his father who's actually running the cartel, then how does that work for the prosecution? It sounds like he's a great witness for the defense, and he's going to be on the stand again today.
Well, he's not absolving El Chapo.
Right.
He's telling him El Chapo ran it with his father, right? And that his father was dead. So, you know, the defense's argument from the beginning is that this is a show trial, that this is all about Mexican corruption. The judge, you know, as you heard, disallowed any further testimony about Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
I think this is going to create an appellate issue for El Chapo, because stuff brought out, and I'm going to argue, the defense is going to argue, or they will have argued, that it's opened the door to all that testimony to show about American corruption here as well in this trial. So there's a lot of interesting things. So this case, even if El Chapo goes down, it may be far from over.
Hey, you may not know this, but throughout our conversations, we've talked a lot about corruption in Mexico, people getting paid off. Do we know anything about what's happened to any of those officials?
No, we haven't heard anything about it.
Wondering if they're sitting cool in their heels behind bars or not.
And we have to go, but is this playing big in Mexico?
No, I mean, I haven't really followed it,
No.
so I can't answer that, but I imagine it is.
Because
I can tell you in the Mexican
somewhat of a folk
Sure,
hero
but in
there.
the Mexican community here, they've talked about how everyone's riveted. So, you know, so it can't be that,
Wouldn't be
I imagine it
surprised
would
if it
be that different in Mexico.
Yeah, very interesting, Vinoo. Thank you.
Pleasure.